Eagle Rare. It is one of the most popular, lightly allocated products from Buffalo Trace, and I think it's one of those ones that a lot of people consider this to be their favorite kind of upper tier sipper instead of your basic shelfer. But they've recently released the 12-year version of this product, and it's not in my state yet. But that's what friends are for. And so I have this lovely sample right here of the Eagle Rare 12-year. So let's compare 12-year and 10-year on this Microflight Friday. 2 extra years. Now, granted, Eagle Rare 10-year often includes older whiskeys within it, but an age statement increase to give us an extra 2 years. 12-year does have a bit of ring to it, doesn't it? It's one of those things where, like, we think about, say, like Weller 12, or maybe you do the 12-year 1792. It's kind of the higher age statements are adding a little extra something to them, and also producing less whiskey, so that means that they become a little harder to find. But supposedly Eagle Rare 12 is supposed to be shelf available. Shelf available according to Buffalo Trace, but they say that this is shelf available, and I know a lot of people in several states that cannot find this at all. Thankfully, Eagle Rare is pretty easy to get in Washington. It just comes in big waves, but when it comes in a big wave, it's relatively easy to get yourself anywhere between 1 and 4 or 5 bottles if you really, really want to. Let's compare the two. I have them poured. They're from open bottles, so I don't need to really give them a lot of time to rest. I'm going to start with a basic Eagle Rare 10-year. And again, we're not going to do like full 2-minute Tuesday level notes, but let's do a quick like color side by side, shall we? My face there. So, very minor differences in color. There's the 12. There's the 10. Very, very minor difference in color, but you can definitely see the 12-year is a touch darker. There's also slightly more of it in my glass, but that shouldn't make too big a difference. Let's do the 10-year, and then we'll compare to the 12. Now, they are relatively similar in proof. The Eagle Rare 10 sits at 90 proof, pretty classic, lower proof, entry-level kind of stuff, where the Eagle Rare 12 is a little bit higher at 95 proof. So there's a whole 2.5 extra points % of alcohol in there, but let's compare the two and see, does that age and proof really make that much of a difference? Because right now, the Eagle Rare 12 is, as far as I'm concerned, basically only available on secondary, and that's at like $200 a bottle, where its shelf price is supposed to be somewhere closer to like $70-something a bottle. So let's start with the Eagle Rare 10 at 90 proof. Dude, this is such just like classic. Yeah. It's so hard to go wrong with Eagle Rare. It's such a great one. One of my best friends when it comes to whiskey, as far as like in my share group, really, really awesome guy. This is his, like, he fills a flask when he goes to his bowling leagues. And this is his go-to sipper, basic Eagle Rare 10. And we've joked that he's going to buy the entire estate supply worth of Eagle Rare 12 when it shows up. Oh, man. It's just, there's lovely oak presence, a little bit of cherry, a little, like, nice wood sugariness going on. It's got just a hint at the end of a little bit of kind of spice on the finish from the barrel char, but really this is just a mellow, relaxed sipper, lightly sweet, decent oak influence. It smells lovely on the nose, but it's nothing in your face. There's no, like, huge, bold flavor notes like you're gonna get out of, like, some of your barrel-proof whiskeys. There's nothing wrong with that. This is a 90 proof sipper. This is the kind of thing, like, if you're a golfer, you take on a golf course. And you chill out and enjoy while you're shooting your round, right? I'm not a golfer, but I used to play some baseball back in the day, and some slush ball, softball, I'll take that over beer any day of the week. Yeah, man, it's just great brown sugar, a little bit of wood, nice subtle cherry. It's sitting there, very Buffalo Trace profile, just aged up and at its lower proof point. Nothing offensive, nothing bad, just good, solid whiskey at a good price. It's like, what, $50 a bottle? But what about the 12? Our 95 proof upgrade with an extra 2 years. How big is that wood influence going to be, right? Oh. It's funny, there's actually a bit more ethanol for it on the nose, even though it's 95 proof. Much bigger oak note to it. But nothing tannic, so that's good. No bitterness. And almost no spice. The question is whether or not it's going to have that nice cherry note in there. Let's take a sip. For only 5 extra proof, that's got a little bit more oomph to it. That cherry's there, but honestly, it is slightly more ethanol-y. it's like almost losing some of its refinement despite being a little bit older. You would think that what that would do is mellow it even further despite the proof increase and give you a bit more of the wood sugar and wood influence kind of amped up, and maybe a touch more of that fruit. The little bit of cherry note is there, the wood is there, but it's funny how that slight difference adds something. Let me cleanse my palate with a little water. Corky cup. It's a fresh palate. Let's try again. Let's do that again. Okay. Second sip. Not as ethanol-y. Man, the wood presence is definitely different on this. It's more, just less brown sugar going on and more like getting into that even deeper level of like molasses kind of thing. It's definitely a sweeter whiskey, but the oak influence is more prevalent. It's adding a bit more mellowness. It's not as fruity. That cherry note is like really, really subdued in the 12 compared to the 10. The question is, would I take the 12 over the 10, assuming both were findable at MSRP? Yeah, I would. Here's the thing, right? When Buffalo Trace gets its oak influence going, they do it so well, and they bring out the sweet oak influence, I think, better than almost anybody. And this is a really good example of that. It is this wonderful, rich, dark, sweet, sugary wood influence note that's there. You lose a little bit of that cherry, but it's still there. It's just a little bit more mellowed. It's letting the oak come and be truly center stage. Whereas Eagle Rare 10, if you were to ask me, I feel has like this careful balance between fruit and oak influence. And it's kind of like this nice back and forth dance, if you will, where this is giving you a punch. And that punch is, this is what sweet oak tastes like. This is what refined, aged whiskey on the sweet side can taste like at low proof. And that is quite nice. Now, do I think this is worth secondary? No, not at all. I think this is an MSRP bottle. I really don't think you get much more than about the $70-ish worth of value out of this, especially when you have Eagle Rare 10, which in theory would be more available, giving you that nice delicate balance between fruit and oak, where this is all that, like, this is going to be oak and sugariness and letting you get that deeper, darker, more complex oak influence with a little bit of fruit and this little, like, kind of light things in there and not that big in your face thing, right? Where the 10 is like a careful dance, and I kind of like that careful dance for its value compared to the 12. So if I was going secondary routes where Eagle Rare on secondary is like $50 in my area, I know some places it's like 75, but even then I feel like at secondary, this is the more value bottle compared to the Eagle Rare 12. Now, if you're gonna get one because you want to have one for your selection and be able to go into it every once in a while, maybe it's worth like $125. Maybe if you've got some deep pockets, $150, but I could not possibly see spending $200 plus, and I've seen them higher than that, the secondary levels on the Eagle Rare 12. Just wait, more and more is going to come around. You'll eventually get your hands on it. It's supposed to be as regular as Eagle Rare 10-year is for your area. So that's it. Let me know your thoughts. Do you want a full 2-minute Tuesday on this? I don't think we necessarily need that. I feel like this is a good coverage, but I wanted to compare it in a little micro flight and get your opinions. I don't want to compare this to an Eagle Rare pick because I feel like Eagle Rare picks are really unfair. Some of them are so incredibly lights out that a standard Eagle Rare, whether it's the 10 or 12, just doesn't stand a chance, and I have a couple of those picks. And other ones can give you that profile shift, right? And just be, for their value, really, really incredible. So I didn't feel that was fair. That's why I left them out, in case you're going to ask. If you enjoyed this video, if you've had Eagle Rare 12 so far, leave a comment in the video down below. Give it a like. These are two of the best ways to interact completely for free and tell old Papa YouTube, like, hey, I like this stuff, and somebody else might too. If you're not subscribed, consider subscribing, because we're going to be giving away a bunch of sample flights. You've still got a little bit of time to enter. There's a link to that video in the description below. And once I hit 1,000 subscribers, I'm going to give away a bottle of E.H. Taylor single barrel, along with a couple other things. As always, my friends, thank you so much for watching, and stay awesome.